Hi, and welcome to video number 3 in this letter series. There is a different perspective I want to share today because it adds a little depth to how we understand high blood sugar. When the body is already under strain, it doesn't keep saying yes to more. It pulls back. That pullback, what we call resistance, is a protective response meant to preserve balance and prevent further overload so essential systems can keep running. Protection in the body always comes before efficiency. This has been a quiet theme running through the previous letters. In other words, what we call resistance is often the body choosing safety, doing what it can to protect what matters most and keep you functioning and alive. Here's why this matters when it comes to naturally lowering blood sugar. Most conversations about metabolism ask, how do we make the body work better? But the body asks a different question first, one that we often skip in our hurry for quick fixes or in our desire to make everything look fine on the outside. And sometimes in that rush, we even convince ourselves that everything is okay when the body is clearly signaling otherwise. That question is simple. The body asks, is it safe to do so? Long before blood sugar improves, before insulin sensitivity returns, before numbers come down, your body is scanning for stability. Not a substance to displace a symptom, not a perfectly plated meal you take a photo of to send to your peers or your friends' family, and then you may never eat again. Not how disciplined things appear. Stability. Think of it like a drawbridge. When danger is sensed, it stays up to protect the city, even if the streets beyond look empty. That's your body in resistance. In insulin resistance, the problem isn't a locked door due to lack of insulin. It's a door intentionally held closed because the room is already full. This is nervous system logic. When the body cannot rely on predictable nourishment, consistent rest, or recovery between demand and load, it keeps energy available. Why? Because standing down would feel unsafe. Seen this way, insulin resistance is a strategy, not because there isn't enough insulin, but because there's already too much glucose inside the cells. It's a way to prevent further entry and ensure fuel remains available in the bloodstream when the environment feels uncertain, when there is a glucose overload. This is where many well-intentioned plans begin to break down. We change food too quickly. We chase health trends. We tighten up the rules, and we add pressure, believing more control will bring results. Yes, maybe in the short term, but not in the long term. But unpredictability, even in the name of health, keeps defenses high. Force teaches the body to brace. Order teaches the body to stand down. And to the body, order looks like rhythm. Whole food meals that arrive when expected, rest that actually happens, energy that comes from nourishment, not adrenaline, clear beginnings and clear endings to the day. When these foundations are missing, the body remains alert. Blood sugar stays elevated. Insulin continues signaling, often really loud, but regulation requires consistency before the cells feel safe enough to respond again. In high blood sugar conditions, this can look like eating very little during the day, skipping meals, then waking to higher blood sugar in the next morning. This isn't only the natural morning rise in cortisol we're talking about. It's the liver releasing glucose after learning that nourishment may not arrive reliably. A learned survival response, you might say, not a metabolic mistake. Cravings, sudden dips in energy, and stress signals are not random or problematic. They are stabilizing responses, ways the system slows the pace or seeks fuel when rhythm has been disrupted. Much of what's happening is already protective. When rhythm returns, many of these signals quiet on their own because the body no longer needs to stay vigilant. So if progress feels slow for you, or your body seems hesitant to respond to the changes that you are trying to implement, consider this. It may not be resisting change, it may be waiting for consistency. I really like that. So let me say that again. It may not be resisting change, it may be waiting for consistency. The body is remarkably responsive to order. When rhythm returns, when nutrition comes in regularly, when recovery is real, when the environment becomes predictable enough to trust, defenses begin to lower. Not all at once, but steadily. This isn't about doing more, it's about stabilizing what you already have and what's already there. Stabilizing meals, stabilizing sleep, stabilizing expectations. Safety is the gatekeeper. You cannot restore sensitivity to a system that is still protecting itself. And understanding this can quietly change everything.